Hi, welcome to week 3 for Bay Path University Human Resource Management class. This is my PowerPoint Nikita Waller presentation for Employee Engagement Solution. This PowerPoint will talk about how to reduce turnover, gather employee satisfaction data, and manage the budget in the private health clinic in Chicago. So I think the first thing we want to do is just talk about turnover with the employees and why the employee per se actually does turnover, and why we have so much. The cost of the employee and the job productivity is an issue, because either employees are underpaid or don't feel as if they're getting enough. The job performance may not be at 100%. So they may fall short in performing the quality of work. Another issue could be that we have multiple employees doing the same type of job. Again, not providing the top quality or just providing a whole lot of variety. Then, also another reason for turnover is maybe employees are not trained well enough to do the job. So you have to also be aware of training the employees for to actually do the job, so they can actually stay up to date with the technology and the changes in the health field, or in any field rather. Another reason some employees may leave, or the reason why turnover could be high, is because staff feel like their workload is actually heavy. So some people feel that they may have to work more than 8 hours, or they just feel like there's too many patients that they have to actually care for. And then the satisfaction of the medical staff, that can be an issue as well. Um, to actually find someone to replace someone that may not be fulfilling the work scope for the hospital, or just fulfilling their contract as being an employee of the hospital, that may cost too. It costs to do a job search, to recruit, and then also to train again. Recruiting costs alone can be an issue. Again, and then once you are left with that gap, job performance impacts, obviously, the patients that the clinic in Chicago may actually serve. So, what fuels the turnover? I believe there's three main reasons or drivers, I'll call them, for individual employees: is the impulsivity, which I believe is just sometimes an employee just may have a reaction and just be tired, may not want to do the job, and they just do whatever and act on an impulse, and just not feel like actually doing the job, just not dedicated. And then you also have jobs or employees, I'm sorry, employees that try to adapt to the work environment, and then just have a problem with doing so. They may not get along. They may not actually like the job itself. Maybe miscommunication between the doctors or the nurses, or other different kind of staff. And then again, the integrity of just working in a hospital, confidentiality, being able to have proper bedside manners, just holding really people accountable for how um, people actually, or employees actually, treat the the employees treat the patients that are actually there, that they're there to serve. That may be an issue. So I know that there's hidden costs, or indirect hidden costs of replacing an employee. And what some of those costs is, it comes with reducing the quality of care for, again, the patient. That could be when it comes to looking for a new employee, a brand new employee who's just completely new, or a contract employee, an employee that we may not, the hospital may not, or the clinic may not want to actually give out benefits to, or someone that is actually registered to do the job. With finding a new employee, that also comes with reducing morale, because 9 times out of 10, people do not always welcome a new employee who may make more money than them, or assume they make more money than the employee that's been there for years, or they just may not want to again just welcome them for whatever own reasons. And then with that being said, there's loss of productivity. Another reason is, again, that new employee or the old employee, their workload increases. Um, and that sometimes when you add on more of a workload, there's that extra dollar cost, or that extra salary or more money to actually have someone that's willing to do the work, or that is actually more favorable in the training of the work. And then also you have to look at past employees that have been possibly tapped out of having the knowledge to do the work. So some employees have been employed at the clinic in Chicago for maybe over 20 years. They may add more value than a new employee because they actually know the organization, they know the policies and procedures. Whether they're willing to share or engage with the new employee, that can be a cost for a long time. So just some employees have distinct knowledge of knowing the actual business practices of the clinic. So we want to talk about retention strategies. Some of the retention strategies I'm thinking to try to help at the hospital or the clinic in Chicago. Um, we want to try to reduce some overtime and eliminate mandatory overtime, because then we're going to eliminate some of the stress, right, on the staff that's actually there. But even so, we got to be aware of just making sure everything is even out. So hiring enough staff so everyone feels like everyone is, the workload is actually evenly distributed. So, and just making sure that everyone is leveled up, knowing their different jobs and how they make a contribution to the organization. Um, Again, supporting the base staff, recognizing work life balance. It's good to support employees who may have kids, or who may be single mothers, or may be caring for loved ones, or just to be able to give that as an extra benefit, so they won't be worried about having they lose their job at any given point in time. So there needs to be a fair work-life balance, and there needs to be management needs to be aware that besides caring for patients, people have to be in a good place at home before they can actually take care of the patients there. And then trying to build up morale and developing a workplace culture where the staff can actually collaborate together to make things better for each other. I think I touched on this again, but recognizing work life balance, again, developing a culture of a workplace culture of collaboration. And sometimes it's always good to collaborate, again, with leadership, but having staff that can mentor the staff that needs to be helped. And then also providing the proper training, up to date training, to keep those employees up to speed so they can provide the best proper care for the patients. I hope this PowerPoint was good, and that ends the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you.